We're going to be starting in mountain pose, palms facing forward, feet directly underneath your hips. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, arms up. Interlace your fingers at the top. Another deep inhale, extend. Exhale, lean over to your right. Back to center. Another deep inhale, extend. Exhale, lean over to your left. Back to center. Deep inhale, extend and lean back. Back to center. Hand comes to heart center. Let's go into tree pose on your right side. So the right foot comes up onto your left thigh, either directly above or below the knees. Take some deep breaths. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, other side. Hand comes to heart center. Left foot up on the right thigh. Again, either above or below the knees. Find your balance. Look straight ahead. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You could bend one knee. Focus on one leg at a time. We're going to step back into plank, lowering to tabletop. Deep inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Go ahead and follow your own breath, moving from cat to cow. Back to center. Deep inhale, exhale, extend your right arm and left leg. Flex that leg behind you. Strong core. Let's go ahead and bring them out to the side. Hold that leg up. Back to center. Let's grab your ankles. So you're going to lift and pull. And release. Deep inhale, exhale, left arm, right leg. Let's bring them out to the side. Back to center. Grab your ankle, lift and pull. And release. Let's move on to some hip circles. Lean back, come up towards the right, down towards the left. Go the opposite direction. Back to center. Tuck your toes, hips go up and back, down dog. Go ahead and walk your dog. Bend one knee and bend the other. And eventually we want to flatten both feet on the mat. Push the hips up and back. And rock them side to side. Back to center. Inhale, right leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. Keep the left hand on the ground. Swing your right arm up. Look up towards that right hand. If you need to modify this pose, go ahead and lower that back knee. Keeping the twist, come straight up. Reach back with that left arm. We're going to lower towards the front once again, but this time the left hand comes to the outside of the foot. Right arm comes up. Try to look up towards that right hand. And back up. Windmill your arms. Lower that back knee. Pull your hips back. Straighten up that right leg. Flex that foot. Deep inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, lower. Back up. Let's pull your hips back to the front. Back knee comes up. Right leg goes back. Do some hip circles. Back to down dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. Right hand stays on the ground. Swing your left arm up. Look up towards that left hand. Keeping the twist, come straight up. Reach back with that right arm. Let's come back to the front. Right hand goes on the outside of that foot. Left arm comes up. Look up towards the left hand. And back up. So windmill your arms. Lower that back knee. Pull your hips back. Deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. come back up, pull your hips back to the front. Back knee comes up, left leg goes back, hip circles. Back to down dog. Deep breaths in down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Bring that foot between your hands. Coming up into a high lunge. Hand comes to heart center. Let's bring that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, twist. Modification, lower that back knee and focus on twisting. Let's come back to center. Hands come down, framing that front foot. Pull that right leg back, shake it out. Back to down dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Bring that foot between your hands. High lunge. Hand comes to heart center. Right elbow goes on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Back to center. Hands come down, framing that foot. Left leg goes back, hip circles. Back to down dog. Rock those hips side to side. Lowering to tabletop. Let's come up onto our knees. Reach back with that right hand to your right heel. Hips stay forward. Left arm comes up into half camel pose. Flow into the other side. Back to center. Let's return to tabletop. Tuck your toes once again. Down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. High lunge. Hand comes to heart center. Warrior 3. So you'll lift up that back leg. Lean forward. Flex that leg behind you. Hips should be parallel to the ground. Hinge at the hips. Just bring that knee to your chest, tug it in really tight. Do some ankle circles. Go the opposite direction. Alright, let's bring that ankle across your right thigh. Hand comes back to heart center. You're going to sit down into chair pose. Make sure you're flexing that left foot to protect your knees. Let's come back up. Knees back to heart center. And kick it back to warrior 3. And slowly lower. Hands come down, framing that front foot. Right leg goes back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Rock those hips side to side. Down dog. Deep breaths in down dog. On your next inhale, left leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. High lunge. Hands to heart center. Warrior 3. Hinge at the hips. Hug that knee into your chest. Ankle circles. Go the opposite direction. Bring that ankle across the left thigh. Hands back at heart center. Sitting back into chair pose. Make sure you're flexing that right foot. Let's come back up, knees back to heart center, and kicking it back to warrior 3. Let's go ahead and lower. Hands come down, framing that front foot. Left leg goes back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Pause here in down dog. Pull those hips up and back. Let's bring that right hand to the outside of your left ankle. Pull down. Peek underneath that left arm. If you want to challenge your balance, try to lift that right leg up. And back down. Back to down dog. Deep breaths. Just bring that left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Pull down, peek underneath that right arm. Again, if you want to challenge your balance, try to lift up that left leg. And release back to down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Let's bring that leg across your body for pigeon. Deep inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, lower. Let's come back up. Deep inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. Back to center. Another deep inhale, lengthen. To the left. Back to center. Just pull that right leg back. Walk it out in down dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Pigeon. Same thing here. You want to square up your hips. Inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, lower. And come back up. Deep inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Back to center. Another deep inhale, lengthen. And to the right. Back to center. Let's pull that left leg back. Walk it out in down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. Coming up into warrior two. Front knees are bent. Left arm goes behind your back. Reach back with that right arm. Back to center. Let's reach forward, lifting that back leg up. Stacking your left hip on top of your right. Left arm comes up. Half moon pose. Try to look up towards that left hand. Let's grab that ankle behind you. Right arm comes up into dancer pose. Let's lower it back down, releasing and lowering that back leg. Windmill your arms. Right leg goes back. Do some hip circles. Back to down dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Bring that foot in between your hands. Warrior two. Right arm goes behind your back. Left arm comes up. Reach as far back as you can. Back to center. Reach for that spot in front of you. Stack your right hip. Right arm comes up. Look up towards that right hand. Half moon pose. Let's grab your ankle behind you. Left arm comes up into dancer. Hand comes back down. Release and lower. Let's windmill your arms. Left leg goes back. Shake it out. Back to down dog. Let's walk your hands back to meet your feet. In a forward fold. Let's grab opposite elbows. Relax your neck. And rock side to side. And slowly come to standing. Mountain pose. Deep breaths in mountain pose. Bring your right knee to your chest once again. Hug it in really tight. Left hand comes to your left hip. We're going to hook that right toe. Straighten the leg. and pull it in as far as you can. Every time you inhale, lengthen that leg. Exhale, pull it in a little further. Bring it out to your right side. Try not to lift up that right hip so much. Keep it squared and parallel to the ground. Back to center. We're going to switch hands. Grab the outside of that right foot with your left hand. Right arm goes out towards your hip. Pull that leg across your body. Again, try not to rotate your hips. Try to keep it squared. Back to center. We're going to release. Hold the leg up. And back down. Shake it out a little bit. And when you're ready, left knee comes up to your chest. Hug it in really tight. Right hand comes to your hip. Hook that left toe. Straighten and pull. Let's bring it out to the side. Back to center. Right hand grabs the outside of that left foot. Left hand comes to your hip. Pull it across your body. Back to center. We're going to release and hold the leg there. Shake it out. Let's bring that right leg over the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's roll back up nice and slow. And switch sides. So left leg goes over the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And back up. Good. Let's bring our right foot up to your left hip. Push that right knee down as far as you can. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bend that left leg. If you have your balance, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Hands come back down. Push your hips back up and roll back up to standing. Release. Shake out the legs. Let's do the other side. Left foot comes up to your right hip. Work the knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bend that right knee. Find your balance. Once you do that, go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Hands come back down. Push your hips back up. And slowly come to standing. Release. Shake your legs out. Let's come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step back, coming into plank. Let's go to plank on your right side. Stack that left foot on top. Left arm comes up. Try to look up towards the left hand. If you want, bring that left foot up into tree. Back to center. Deep breaths in down dog. Back to plank. This time going on your left side. Right arm comes up. Look up towards that right hand. Keep pulling those hips up. If you want, right foot can come up into tree. Back to center. Push up into down dog. Deep breaths. Lowering to tabletop. We're going to sink your hips. Arms go out. Child's pose. And shift your weight to the front, moving on to our headstand. So you'll interlace your fingers, pinkies in, elbows about shoulder width apart. Crown of your head goes in your palms. Lift your hips up, walk your feet in. Once you feel that your hips are stacked, go ahead and pull those legs up. And hold. So again, pull your hips back. Try to lower with straight legs. Bend your knees. Coming back to child's pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. Back to center. Another deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the left. Back to center. Let's come to seated. Sink your hips. Bring out that right leg. Left foot should be right next to your left hip. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's come back up to seated. We'll switch sides. Left leg extended. Pull that right foot back to your right hip. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Back up to seated. Let's extend out both legs. Shake it out real fast. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's come back up to seated. Bring your feet to meet in the center. Work your knees out towards the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. If you want, you can walk your arms out. Get deeper into the forward fold here. Deep inhale, extend. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. Back to center. Another deep inhale, extend. Exhale to the left. Back to center. Let's come back up. Legs extended out in front of you. Shake them out. I'm going to come into boat pose. So you lift your legs up, bend at the knees, arms out towards the side. Let's hook those toes, straighten out the legs, and pull it in. We're going to release and hold the legs. Bend at the knees. We'll do that one more time. Hook the toes, straighten the legs, pull them in a little closer. Release and hold. Bend at the knees. We're going to lower and hover. Let's come back up to bow. Lower and hover. Back up to bow. One last time, lower and hover. And lower all the way. Good, let's bring both knees to your chest, hug them in really tight. Rock side to side. Release that left leg. Right foot comes to the ground. Extend out that right arm. Left hand goes on the outside of that right knee. Go ahead and pull that knee across your body. Try to keep that right shoulder on the ground. Back to center. We're going to switch sides. So left arm is extended. Right hand goes on the outside of that left knee. Go ahead and pull it across your body. Back to center. Knees to your chest once again. Hug them in really tight and rock side to side. Release. Coming into Savasana.